Hello everyone and welcome back to Budi Network Academy. I am Budi and in today's video we are going to learn about one of the most important devices in computer networking, the router. In our previous video we learned about network switches and how they connect devices within a network. Today we are going one step further and learning how we can connect different networks together. By the end of this video, we will understand what a router is, what it does, and where routers are used. Let's get started. Let's imagine our home network. We may have laptops, smartphones, smart TVs, and other devices connected to our local network. But what happens when we want to access a website on the internet? Our local network needs a way to communicate with another network. This is where the router comes in. The router connects our local network to other networks, including the internet, and forwards traffic between them. In simple terms, the router is the gateway between our network and the outside world. So, what exactly is a router? A router is a networking device that connects different networks together and forwards data between them. For example, your home network is one network, while the internet is another network. The router sits between these networks and decides where the data needs to go. This is one of the main differences between a switch and a router. A switch mainly connects devices within a network, while a router connects different networks. A router has several important functions. First, it connects different networks together. Second, it forwards packets from one network to another. And third, it uses routing information to help determine the appropriate path for the traffic. So, when data needs to travel from one network to another, the router plays a key role in getting that data to its destination. Let's look at a simple example. Imagine that our computer wants to access a website on the internet. First, the computer sends the traffic through the local network. The traffic reaches the router. The router examines the destination information and determines where the traffic needs to go. It then forwards the packet toward the internet. The response eventually comes back through the router and reaches our computer. All of this happens very quickly, usually in a fraction of a second. So, how does a router know where to send the data? One important piece of information is the IP address. An IP address identifies a device or network interface on an IP network and allows devices and routers to determine where traffic should go. This is different from a switch, which primarily uses MAC addresses to forward traffic within a LAN. A simple way to remember it is switch, MAC address, router, IP address. We will explore IP addresses in much more detail in a future episode. Now let's compare a router and a switch. A switch is mainly used to connect devices within the same local network. A router is used to connect different networks together. A switch primarily uses MAC addresses, while a router makes forwarding decisions based on IP addresses. So, if you remember just one thing from this slide, remember switches connect devices, router connect networks. This simple concept will be very important as we continue learning networking. Routers are used everywhere. At home, a router connects our local devices to the internet. In an office, routers connect the company's internal network to other networks and internet services. In a school, routers provide connectivity between different networks and external services. And at the ISP and internet level, powerful routers connect different networks together and forward huge amounts of traffic. So, whether we are talking about a small home network or a large internet service provider, routers play an important role in connecting networks. Let's put everything we have learned together with a simple example. Imagine that you are sitting at home using your laptop and you want to visit a website. Your laptop sends the traffic through your local network. The traffic reaches your router. The router forwards it toward your internet service provider and eventually toward the destination website. The website sends the response back through the network and eventually to your laptop. So we can think of the path as computer, then switch, then router, internet, then website. This is a simple example of how a router connects your local network to other networks. Before we finish, let's quickly review what we have learned today. A router is a networking device that connects different networks and forwards data between them. We learned why routers are needed and how they allow our local network to communicate with other networks, including the internet. We also introduced IP addresses, which are an important part of how routers forward traffic. We compared routers with switches and learned that switches connect devices while routers connect different networks. Finally, we saw that routers are used everywhere from our homes and offices to schools and internet service providers. These are the basic concepts you need to understand before moving into more advanced routing topics. Thank you for watching this video. I hope now have a clear understanding of what a router is and why it's such an important part of computer networks. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to Budi Network Academy, and share it with anyone who wants to learn networking. Question of the day: what type of router are you using at home or at work? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. In our next episode, we will learn about another very important networking concept, What is an IP address? A beginner's guide. Until then, learn, troubleshoot, connect. I am Budi and I will see you in the next video.